if you're rustling paper that close to the mic, it's gonna pick it up, just so you know.
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. We had an issue with that once where the people who were sitting closest to the mic were talking to each other in whispers during class. It's like, oh, no, very well.
Hopefully there weren't any secrets.
Okay, so, that's Damon's, I need to give it to him when he gets here. Okay, so, hamburger tabetai desu ka? And then you can answer, hai, tabetai desu. And then it doesn't have to be that particular reason, but it could be any kind of reason. You know, hai, tabetai desu, onaka ga suite imasu kara. Or iie, tabetakunai desu. Sakki tabemashita kara. So we're gonna let Sanmin-san do you want to participate today or you're just listening?
Yeah.
Okay, Sanmin-san to Amba-san, 1番どうぞ。
はい。アンバさん、湖に行きたいですか？
いいえ、行きたくないです。よく、旅行しません。
Okay, よく旅行しませんから。
から。
Yeah, just add the kara because it's supposed to be the reason why you don't want to do the thing or do want to do the thing. いいですか？じゃあ、Amba-san, what about Ryan? Are you participating or just listening in today?
はい。やってみます。
はい、やってみますか？じゃあ、Amba-sanと Ryan さんどうぞ。
日本語を練習したいですか？
いいですね。
はい。日本語の練習をしたいです。
はい、いいですね。はい、じゃあ3番どうぞ。ライアンさんとジョーさん。
温泉に行きたいですか？
行きたい。はい、行きたいですか？
いえ、温泉に行きたくないです。
行きたくないです。はい、行きたくないです。And then a reason?
忙しいです。
忙しいですから。はい。じゃあどうぞ。
ゆっくり休みたいですか？休む？ What is that?
To rest.
Oh.
ゆっくり休みたいですか？ Do you want to take a break? Do you want to rest?
I was actually going to ask you about that.
Hi.
Because it's yukuri. That's so yukuri. That's slowly.
Yeah.
Is that also like?
In this case, it connotes just taking things easy, you know, taking a rest, taking a break. So, like, let's say you're in Japan. You spent the whole morning out with your friend doing stuff, and then you get back to their house, and then they say, "Yukuri yasumitai desu ka?" Do you want to just hang out and relax, or do you want to like grab a quick bite of lunch and then go back out and do more sightseeing or whatever?
Right. Isogashi is busy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Ie, ゆっくり休みたくないです。私は忙しいから。
はい。Or 忙しいですから.
Isogashi
You want to
desu kara.
keep it in the same politeness level.
They actually didn't do that here. Oh, never mind, that's washed up. Never mind. I was reading it wrong.
はい、忙しいですから。はい。じゃあどうぞ次。
すみません。アンバさん。会社の社長になりたいから。
なりたい
ですか？
はい、なりたいですか？
いいえ、会社の社長になりたくないです。世界になり たいです。
から
から
OK 作家 as in writer
はい。
はい、作家になりたいですからいいですね。はい。Yeah, gotta be careful in the pronunciation there. 作家 is writer. サッカー is soccer. So
Is it Sakka?
作家 is a
Or
writer.
just Saka?
作家 with a small 2 in
Okay.
it. 作家. But サッカー with an extended sound is soccer, the sport. So yeah, サッカー is a writer. サッカー you would add サッカーの選手 to mean a professional soccer player. But that's not what you were trying to say. So どうぞ。
日本で働きたいですか？
はい、日本で働きたいです。
Can you come up with a reason?
優しいお金ですから。
Okay, because it's easy money?
Yeah.
I don't think they use that
They
expression
don't.
that way, but.
Gets the point across. It's
Yeah.
not right.
はいどうぞ。次。
車を書きたい
買いたい。
買いたい。
はい
車が
買いたい
車を買いたいですか？
買いたくないです。お金がありませんか？
はい、いいですね。どうぞ
日本に住みたいですか？はい。Can I use 本当に like 本当に日本に住みたいです。
はい、いいですね。
日本が大好きですか？
はい、いいですね。どうぞ。
お留学したいですか？
いえ、留学したくないです。怖いです。
Okay, 怖いですから。Okay, that makes sense.
留学生。
はい、it's the same 留学する留学生。So if you're going to 留学する that means you will be a 留学生。いいですか？
山に登たいですか？
登り。
はい、
登ります。そう、登りたいですか？
登り
はい、登りたい。はい。じゃあ山に登りたいですか？
Oh, it's me.
She's asking you.
はい。いいえ、山に登りたくないです。高いですか？
はい、いいですね。Okay, by the way, I just wanted to point something out because you guys have already done casual speech for some things. I just wanted to point out to you how you can go about it with these structures in case you want to. Okay? So, taides sentences and takunaides sentences to become casual, you can just drop the des, just like with the adjectives. Okay? And then your kara sentences, you can also do the short form however you already know how. So like, yama ni noboritaku nai, takai kara. Okay? Or, you know, 温泉に行きたくない、面白くないから or whatever your reason might be. Okay? So the short form plus kara as well. You know. And even teiru forms like their example, you know, はい、食べたい。お腹が空いているから、空いている、ている instead of ています。or いえ、食べたくない。さっき食べたから。You can use the short forms. So anytime you want to, we can take any exercise that they're giving us that's in long forms, formal forms, and if you want to do it either in addition or instead of in casual form as a way of practicing, it's a really good practice to do that. So especially like if we find that, you know, we feel like we need more practice with a certain concept, but we've run out of activities to use, we could always redo an existing activity we've already done in the other level of politeness from the one we just did it in.
We just do
Okay.
that again in short form.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. So do you want to do this one again in short form right now, or do you want to go on and do some other things first and then maybe come back to it if you feel like it later?
I am indifferent.
You're indifferent, okay.
I feel like the next couple months, even without the listening practice, kind of go along the same guidelines. Like,
Okay.
so,
Okay, so yeah, well, the C has the listening practice available, so we don't really need to do it. Okay, and then D is the same thing, just asking your partner if they wanted to do those things during their childhood, so it's gonna all be past tense. Do you want to do
Sure.
D in short form, just to practice doing it casual instead of formal?
Yeah. So it'd be what? 食べたくない or is it 食べたく how would you say that?
食べたくなかった
食べたくなかった.
would be past tense, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And that's short form, just without that.
okay, so let's go ahead and start with the example again, but just convert it to short form.
We're doing
When
D
you
or
read the
E?
examples. Whose turn was it to read?
Were we doing D or E? Or
Well,
are we doing the next
we're
one?
doing C,
Oh, okay.
but they didn't give you examples. Or we're doing D rather, but they didn't give you examples, so we can just read the C examples,
Oh,
just to help get the idea. So who wants to read? Whose turn was it?
I think it's fine. Or,
Okay, どうぞ.
テレビを見たいですか?
No, the example. Let's read the
Oh,
example
okay.
first. Just so, おもちゃの電車で遊ぶ.
Okay.
So,
おもちゃの電車
so how would you turn that into a question? おもちゃの電車で遊ぶ.
遊ぶなかった 遊ぶ
Okay, so 子供の時、
子供の時
おもちゃの
おもちゃの電車で
で遊びたかった.
遊びたかった OK
Okay, so that would be the question, right? Does everybody understand what it's asking? What's おもちゃの電車?
toy train
Yes, a toy train. Okay, so when you were a child, did you want to play with a toy train or toy trains? There's no singular plural differentiation here, so it doesn't necessarily mean a single toy train. It could be toy trains in general, right? Did you like to play with toy trains? So, Joe-san, go ahead and read how you would answer that in the positive and the negative.
子供の時、おもちゃの電車で遊びたかった。
はい。
子供
いいね。
いえ、子供の時、おもちゃの電車で遊びたくなかった。
遊びたくなかった。
たくなかった。
たくなかった。はい。
That one thing we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah, たくなかった。
遊びたくなかった。はい。じゃあ、so now you're gonna ask, did he want to do that as a child for 一番?
子供の時、テレビを見たかった。見たかった。
見たかった?
はい。たくさんテレビを見たかった。
はい
子供の時、 たくさんテレビを見たかった。
はい。In the answer, you don't have to repeat the 子供の時 part because it's sort of redundant.
What
Because it's
they
already
did, so I
answered.
figured.
So
Why not?
either way,
Yeah.
you can do it either way. はい。じゃあ2番どうぞ。
子供の時、飛行機に乗りたかった。
はい。乗りたかった。はい。
はい、飛行機に乗りたかった。
はい。乗りたかった。
子供の時、ゲームをしたかった。
したかった。
はい。ゲームをしたのいえゲームをしたくなかったです。
したくなかった。
したくなかった。
したくなかった。はい。したくなかった。はい、じゃあどうぞ。
犬を飼いたかったですか？
飼いたかった。You can leave the desk off because we're doing casual speech. I know you haven't done that much casual speech yet, but
飼いたかった。
犬を飼いたかった。
犬を飼いたかった。
はい。
子供の時、学校をやめたかった。
やめたかった。
はい。学校をやめたかった。
はいね。じゃあ6番。
子供の時、お祭りに行きたいですか？行きたかった。
はい、行きたかった。
はい。
お祭り
に行きたかった。
行きたかった。ね、行きたかった。So the intonation is important because you're not adding deska to make it into a question and then just having des to make it a statement. So intonation is what makes it a question or a statement here. So お祭りに行きたかった is the question form. はい、お祭りに行きたかった with more of a falling tone on the end is the statement. So I know it takes a lot of practice to get that. So that's one reason to practice more casual speech now that you guys know how to do it, because it takes a lot of practice to get good at that intonation shift. 行きたかった、行きたかった。はい、じゃあどうぞ。
子供の時、ピアノ習いたかった。
はい、習いたかった。ピアノを習いたかった。
いいえ、ピアノを習いたくなかった。
はい、
習いなかった。
習いたくなかった。
習いたくなかった。
たくなかった。はい、じゃあどうぞ。8番。
車を運転したかったか？
したかった。はい、
車を運転したくなかった。したくなかった。But also the slurring together of certain sounds happens a lot more frequently in casual speech. したくなかった。 子供の時、夢になりたかった。
はい。
はい。本当に夢になりたかった。
はい。はい、いいですね。Be careful on the pronunciation. 夢 is famous. Yume is a dream.
Yume.
Yeah, if you delete the u and the e, which are the long vowel extenders,
夢になりたかっ
yume ni naritakatta versus yume ni naritakatta, I wanted to become a dream. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? I wanted to turn into a figment of someone's imagination.
た。That'd be cool. You could be a dragon or something.
What was the other translation?
Hi.
What was the other translation?
Yume is famous. Yume
Oh,
is a dream.
famous.
Yeah.
Yume.
If you recognize the kanji for that yume, the yu part means to have, arimasu, the kanji for aru.
Amazing.
And the me is the na from name, from namae. So it's literally to have a name, to be famous, to be a celebrity. じゃあどうぞ。
子供の時、ミッキー、マウスに会いたかった。ミッキーマウスに会いたかった。That took me a second.
Yeah.
はい、ミッキーマウスに会いたかった。
会いたかった。はい。そうですよね。会いたかった。ね。Okay, じゃあ Part E. Ask your partner the following questions and report the answers as in the example. So, so you're asking the question and then you're answering, and then the first person is going back and reporting back to the rest of the class what B just said with using to ittemashita. So person A has to work harder than usual on these. Okay, so we're gonna have Anba-san and Ryan-san read the example to start with, and then we'll keep going around.
Ali?
Okay, so she's gonna be A, you're the B, okay?
ケンさんは何が食べたいですか？
ピザが食べたいです。
ケンさんはピザが食べたいと言っていました。
Right. Okay, now here again, do you guys want to practice making it casual? To practice the casual form of to ittemashita? Or do you want to keep it the way it's written? Anybody else feel like casual is a good idea?
No arguments for me.
No
I
arguments?
did it all informal, so might as well be casual.
Okay. Okay, so to ittemashita. So let's just review how you would convert it.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody know? So the Ken-san wa nani ka tabetai desu ka? That's easy to convert to casual, right? Just tabetai, nani ga tabetai? And then the answer, pizza ga tabetai, right? That's the easy part. And then Ken-san wa pizza ga tabetai to
行った。
と言っていた。
行っていた。
言っていた。
行っていた。
Yeah. 言っていました shortens to 言っていた. And then sometimes it contracts further, but for now we can keep it the non-contracted form so that you get used to what's there. And then when you start listening to more films and things, you'll hear the really contracted forms like tita or titita or iteta. You know, sometimes they leave out some of the vowels.
Okay.
So they're all, and there are lots of variations. The to sometimes changes to a te, and the itteimashita part, itteita, sometimes it loses the i before the ta, so itteta, and then sometimes it loses the other e as well, so it ends up being even more shortened to the point where it's like tittata. You know, it's like, what? did he just stutter, or was he saying it like that way on purpose? It's really,
Goodness.
so it's good practice to start practicing by just shortening it to the, like proper short form before we get into contracting anything. Okay? So we're gonna let Ryan-san ask Ichiban.
昼ご飯に何が食べたい？
寿司が食べたい。
ジョーさん、寿司を。
ジョーさんは
ジョーさんは寿司を食べたい。言ってた。
OK。ジョーさんは寿司を食べたいと言ってた。Yeah, there's a to in there.
To.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys haven't covered this yet in level 2, so,
No. Okay.
Yeah. If it's too hard, let us know, we can skip you.
I'm getting it.
You're getting it,
I'm
but it's
getting it.
just challenging.
Yeah, take me a
Okay.
second.
と言ってた。Okay. どうぞ。
ナダルさん、何が一番買い
買いたい
買いたい。
車が一番買いたい。
サンドリンさんは車が買いたいと言っていた。
はい。いいね。じゃあ、サナンさんどうぞ。
アンバさん、どこに一番行きたい？
このレストランが一番行きたいです。
このレストランに
に
行きたい。じゃあ、
アンバさんはこのレストランに行きたいと言っていた。
はい。
誰に一番会いたいです。会いたい。
オバマは
Okay. オバマに
オバマに一番会いたい。
はい。And
Hi,
if you want to be respectful, since he's the president, you could say オバマ大統領。
大統領？
オ
オバマさん。
バマさんは sounds awful. That's kind of crazy, but 大統領, which again, it's not the chapter you're studying, but 大統領 means the president of a country.
Nice.
So the proper form of address
オバマ大統領。
would be オバマ大統領に会いたい。
お
Yeah. So as long as we've got that vocabulary this lesson, might as well use it since the opportunity came up.
オバマ大統領。Oh, sorry.
はい。
何をなれ。
Oh, Obama 大統領に会いたい. And then you get to say that he said that, so.
ライアン。Yeah.
ヤエンさんはオバマ
大統領
大統領がに会いたいです。
会いたい。
会いたい。
と、
と言っていた。
はい、言っていた。はい、いいね。
いた？Or is it いた？
いた。
Okay.
言っていた。
いていた。
言っていた。言っていた。はい。じゃあ、ライアンさんどうぞ。
言っていた。
はい。
言っていた。Okay.
言っていた。And then, of course, the particle that goes with that, と言っていた. As whatever the quote is, と言っていた.
Okay. 何を習いたい？何が？何を習いたい？
ピアノを習いたい。
ジョーさんは ピアノを習いたい
習いたい
言っていた。
習
No,
いた
と
い
習いたいと
と
言っ
言っててい
いた。
た。Okay, just to give you another little help. So the person's name wa, and then the thing they want to, the thing they said, と言っていた。
と言っていた。
Okay. Oh, and in case you haven't seen it before, this is what Japanese quotation marks look like. So the text would go in here.
We've actually been using those.
Yeah.
Is it in the book?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how many of the level 2 people have seen them before, but I just wanted to show you. So name wa blank 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 と言っていた。
よかっ
Okay,
た。
so ジョーさんはピアノを習いたいと言っていた。ジョーさんどうぞ。
サンドリーさん、
はい。
今週の週末、何がしたい？
今週の週末、勉強したい。
サンドリーさんは勉強したいと言っていた。
はい。And you can insert the 今週の週末 if you want to.
So just 今週の週末、then just サンドリーさんは
No, or
サンド
サヌさんは
That's
今
what it said.
週の週末勉強したいと言っていた。You, since he said the 今週 part in his answer, you could incorporate that into the quote.
Okay.
Make sense? どうぞ。
今何をしたくない？
今何をしたくない？
何をしたくない？
今働きくない
あ、働きたくない。
痛くない
働く、right?
働く
To work?
はい
So 働きたくない。
働き
た
たくない
はい。It's like a tongue twister, isn't it? 働きたくない。
さね
どうぞ。
お
働きたくない。
アンバさんは働きたくないと言っていた。
はい。いいね。
そうつけた。
じゃあ、アンバーさん。
子供の時何なりたかった
はい。何になりたかった。You're getting all the tongue twisters today, aren't you? 何になりたかった。
What's fit? Fit in here.
I guess the easiest way to do that would be animal doctor, which would be 動物の医者。
動物の医者になりたかった。
はい。なりたかった。I don't know if that's the proper term for it or not, but that gets the
Yeah,
idea
yeah.
across. And that's not one of the vocab in your list, I don't think, for occupations. Right? I don't see that anywhere on that list.
いいえ。
動物の医者。
Is there a difference between actress and cartoon or actress? Oh, never mind. There is. I was about to say that they was an actress, but I didn't see the other one.
どうぞ。So Amba-san, so he said he wanted to become a vet.
Okay.
動物の医者。
ライアンさんは
Ryan さんは
動物の医者。
動物の医者
に、
になりたかったと言っていた。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ9番どうぞ。さん、
将来
はい、
将来何になりたい
何になりたい。
将来何になりたい
あ、
教師
教師、ね、
あ教師になりたい。
はい、いいね。
将来は何ですか
将来 is future, in the future.
ジョーさん教師に
ジョーさんは
ジョーさんは教師になりたいと言っていた。
はい、いいですね。
先生、
はい、
how do you say back? As in to go back or to do something again?
戻って
戻ります。
So-
It is like to return.
So if I
go back to
said
something.
将来戻るに行きました or 戻るに行き
Are you trying to do back to the
I'm
future?
trying really hard. I'm trying.
将来に戻る would be to
将来に戻る
return to the future. So,
将来に戻る
so 将来に戻りたい would be I want to go back to the future.
が好きですか？
Yeah, I don't know if they translated that title or if they did
Oh.
katakana for that title,
Cool,
because they
cool.
do katakana for a lot of movie titles that come from English. And actually even sometimes not from English. I mean, Zaringu was a Japanese film first,
Mm.
before an American remake was done. But the
Wasn't it
title in
like
Japan
Ju-on?
was
Oh, no, that's the-
Zaringu.
That was the grudge. Ju-on or something.
So, yeah, a lot of Japanese movie titles are just katakana versions of their original titles. But, yeah, if you were gonna translate Back to the Future as a movie title, 将来に将来に戻る would make sense for a good translation of that title.
セルさん、
はい。
今学の後何がしたい？
たくさん眠たい。
Yeah.
眠たい。
Netai or
Netai.
Yeah, netai makes more sense.
Netai.
Nemutai is more like feeling of wanting to sleep, like being
So-
sleepy. Because nemui is sleepy.
Yeah.
So nemutai is like
眠たい。
that sleepy feeling of, oh, I just want to go to sleep.
Mm.
But netai is want to sleep.
Okay.
So,
たくさん寝たい。
はい
セルさんはたくさん寝たいと言っていた。
はい、いいですね。面白い。はい。じゃあ、do you want to go ahead and do F also for more practice with that, or would you like to switch gears and practice tari tari suru?
Oh, I haven't done that yet, so yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, because we've still got a
That
little
sounds
bit of
awesome.
time left, so
Yeah, we can.
we could do tari tari suru next if you prefer.
Sure.
So, and we can always go back and pick up F later if we feel like we want more practice. But I feel like you guys have gotten a pretty good handle on the Titus structure. Okay, so looking at the pictures, they want you to make your own sentences using tari tari suru. So I guess you can just pick any two and say that somebody did or will do or was doing or whatever, things like this and that.
Okay.
You know, any two that you feel like encompass the range of activities that you would want to include in your sentence.
So I can say soji tari hashi
Soji shitari,
shitari. Soji shitari hashi shitarimasu.
hashitari,
Hashitarimasu. Was that it?
走ったりします。
走ったり
Okay,
します
so
Oh, I was putting them together by that.
yeah.
走ったりします
So what you have to remember how to do, and this is something that level 2 people haven't learned yet, is you have to convert your verb into the ta form of the verb. You remember how to do that? It's the te form, but instead of te, you use ta,
Nice.
right? And the ta form of the verb is this simple past tense, casual, right? So like suru, shite, shita, right? So sentaku suru, sentaku shita. Soji suru, soji shita. And then you just add the ri on the end of the ta form to make it things like. So, and then the shimas on the very end of the sentence, that's where you can control the tense of the whole sentence. So if you're saying, I did things like cleaning and running, soji shitari, hashittari shimashita, right?
走ったり
Hashittari, hashiru,
Okay.
hashirimasu.
Okay.
So small tsu, ta,
走りました。
hashitta. You have to use the short form, which is the
Okay.
ta form.
走っ
So,
た。
so you guys know how to make te forms. So all you have to do is take the te form and convert that te to ta. And if it's a de, you change it to
だ
da. Okay? So like yonda instead of yonde. Okay, so soji shitari, hashittari, shita would be the casual form. Somebody did things like cleaning and running. Or soji shitari, hashittari shitai. I want to do things like running and cleaning. You know,
Oh.
you can do any kind of verb ending you want on that shimas, depending on what you want the whole sentence to say. You want those things to be activities that you did in the past, things that you do in the future, things that you habitually do, things that you plan to do or want to do.
つもり
Yeah, you could use tsumori, you can use tai, you can use regular suru or shinai. You could do negatives too. Soji shitari, hashittari, shinai. I don't do things like cleaning and running. You know, you can do any conjugation you want to that shimas. You could even turn it into soji shitari, hashittari, shimashou. Let's do things like that. Okay, any conjugation you can think of to end a sentence with, you can do to that shimas on the end of that. You could even do te form and connect it to another activity that is going to happen after. You know, soji shitari, hashittari shite, 勉強します or 料理します or 食べます or whatever. So, crazy, right? But you can
Could
get
you-
creative with this stuff.
Could you add te and then add another tari?
Another tari suru phrase.
うん
Right. So yeah, let's say your plan is to do certain things in the morning and then different things in the afternoon. You know, you could say asa 食べたり勉強したりして午後走ったり掃除したりするつもりです。
Oh,
You know, you can make it really interesting, can't you?
let's stick to tari.
Okay, so どうぞ。Any two you want to combine and conjugate.
Tari.
So, okay, so I think you had started to do one, but you had the conjugations a little confused, so try again.
テレビを見たり、走ったりします。
走ったり、
走ったりします。
はい。So
走
you're
った
gonna
り
watch
します
do things like watch TV and run.
うん
So,
Sure.
so you know, and what this does is it groups those two in such a way that you're making a sort of a category. So maybe we're talking about like what you're gonna do on your vacation. You're gonna do things that you can do when you have free time, that, you know, you don't have to work, you don't have to study, so you can do things like watch TV and go for a job, you know, as opposed to, like, if you're pairing soji study, hashitari shimasu, you're gonna do things that require physical activity or physical strength maybe. Cleaning and running both require some strength, so maybe you're talking about, you know, when you get over this darn cold you're gonna be able to do things like that, you know. So it's all about context, right? Yeah, どうぞ、本場さん。
あ、いいですけど。
Okay.
音楽を聴いたり、電話を話し、
Okay, 電話で
電話で
話す。
電話で話したりたいです。Is that word?
したいです。
したい。
Yeah.
There's a she there first.
Yeah, yeah, because remember the verb is suru, so you have to conjugate it to the Thai form, which would be shitai. Shitai desu. So, 音楽を聴いたり、電話で話したりしたいです。Okay, so you're working with three separate verbs, really. You're working with the verb for the first tari action, the second tari action, and then you're conjugating shimas to tell what kind of tense or action or hope or whatever it is applies to the whole sentence.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mhm.
Can you say 電話をかけたり?
はい、電話をかけたり and then whatever, or, you know,
Yes.
so she could use 音楽を聴いたり、電話をかけたりしたいです。That works too. But that's like, I want to listen to music and make phone calls versus I want to listen to music and talk on the phone, which might be that you have one particular friend you really want to talk to and you're calling them. And that would be more like 電話で話したい, right? But 電話をかける is to make a call. So that could be like you've got a whole to-do list of you need to call the plumber, you need to call the bank, you need to make all these different phone calls that are more like jobs that have to be done.
Like the insurance.
Yeah, like calling your insurance company, calling whatever company you need to call, you know, calling somebody to pay a bill, calling somebody to activate your credit card, calling somebody to, you know, get a repair person out to your house because your dishwasher doesn't work, you know, it could be all kinds of things, right? But 電話で話す sounds more like you're calling up your mom or your friend or your whoever, relative or somebody, just to have a good conversation. You know, you've got a cousin who's having a baby or something, you want to talk to them, or whatever, you know.
So,
Okay, so do you see the difference? 電話で話す and 電話をかける. They're the same general action, but they're different kinds of connotations. Okay, so Joe, did you get a chance to do the Tari sentence yet?
I didn't yet, but
どうぞ。
ビルを読んだり、よりを知ったりした、
Okay, so ビールを飲んだり、
飲んだり、
はい、and then 料理を
知ったり
はい
したい。
したいです。はい、したい。はい, so you want to do things like drink beer and cook. That works. Yeah. So yeah, they're both kitchen type activities. You know.
That sounds good from together.
Yeah, you can group them in all kinds of different ways. I mean, you know, think about any two things that you might want to do. Let's say you've got a day off from work, and maybe you want to spend it doing some cleaning and some relaxing and listening to music, right? You could pair those two. You know, and remember, this is not an exhaustive list. This is 2 examples of the kinds of things you're planning to do or wanting to do in a particular situation. So it's supposed to give people a feel for the kinds of things you're going to do, not necessarily everything you're going to do. So if you group, say, biru nondari, sentaku shitari shitai desu. You want to do things like drink beer and do laundry. So people might get the impression that, okay, you're going to spend some of your day doing chores, but you're also going to spend some of your day relaxing, right? Okay, it could be very general like that. And it doesn't mean that you're actually literally going to drink beer. You might never get around to the beer, but you do other things to relax.
Right.
Or you might never get the laundry taken care of, but you get 5 other chores done.
Yeah.
You know?
Alright, cool.
So it's, especially when you're using it with the future tense, there's no guarantee that the tari-tari verbs you use are actually going to get completed. Now, if you're talking about the past, then yeah, you would use a couple examples of things you actually did, but again, it's not necessarily an exhaustive list. You know, what'd you do last weekend? It could be, you know, denwo de hanashitari, sentaku shitari shimashita. You know, I talked on the phone some, I did the laundry, and other things like that. So that could mean, you know, other recreational stuff and other chores. It could also mean other stuff that you do in the house, not necessarily going out anywhere, you know. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to do another tari-tari exercise, or do you want to try one of the other grammar points? We've still got some time, so it's kind of up to you guys. Do you feel like tari-tari needs a little more practice still because of the conjugation issue? What do you think?
I think I have it now.
Okay.
Sure, let's move on. Yeah.
Okay, one more. Okay, so the next, 有名人に会ったことがありますか? So this is another very useful structure. したことがある. So it's, again, you're using the ta form, ga, and then arimasu, meaning you've had the experience of doing whatever that verb is. Okay, so 有名人に会ったことがありますか? Have you ever had the experience of meeting a famous person? Okay, and so, you know, it could be anything from 日本に行ったことがありますか? Have you ever been to Japan? Or 納豆を食べたことがありますか? Have you ever eaten 納豆? You know, it could be anything. あの本を読んだことがありますか? Have you ever read that particular book that I'm pointing at? You know, or that we were discussing. You know, so, じゃあどうぞ。I think it was Sinla's turn.
Example?
はい。
天ぷらを食べたことがあります。Or 東京に行ったことがありません。
はい。Okay, and actually, that's one that's got, that's on the listening
Oh.
CD. So if you want to do be instead, ことがある. So this one is making questions and asking your partner, have you ever done that? Have you ever had that experience? And they can say yes, and then you ask, how was it? And they give you a description.
Okay, so ジョーさん、ダイエットをしたことがありますか?
いい、ありません。
Okay, that's the end of that then.
どうでしたか?
All of it was more exercise. Let's diet.
はい。
そう。
Okay. じゃあアンバさんどうぞ。
Oh, I was asking Amber.
that's okay. We'll let her ask you. We'll just go the opposite
Alright.
way.
2番
Yeah, はい。
テストで0点を、
取った
取った
取ったことが
Okay, we're writing. Okay. 取ったことがありますか？
いいえ、ありません。
いいですね。はい。Okay, are we skipping you, Ryan?
はい。
はい。ジョーさんどうぞ。
をください。
田中さん、英語を教えたことがありますか？
はい、おいし
教えた。
はい、教え
You can say, はい、教えたことがあります。I have taught it. I've taught English.
はい、教えが
教えた
教えた
ことがあります。
ことがあります。So we put that at the end, more answering as well.
Yeah, yeah, you can say just はい、あります, but if you wanted to get more specific, はい、教えたことがあります。
どうでしたか？
How do you say it was like good practice? Or
いい練習。
はい、いい練習でした。
いい練習です
でした。
でした。
So it was good practice because you're helping somebody else with their English and it helped you too. いいですね。
そうか。
It's often the case. If you're struggling with a concept in Japanese, but you kind of feel like you've got it, if you can explain it to somebody else, then you know you've got it. Yeah, or like any basics that you feel like you need the review on, find a level 1 person who needs help with that, explain it to them, help them figure it out, and
That's why I
you will
like that.
have it really down a lot better. Yeah.
Ken and Corey helps out every time they have a question. They
Yeah.
say right there. So.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty gung-ho, aren't they? じゃあ、okay, whose turn was it?
お、私。Okay. ジョーさん、有名人に会ったことがありますか？
はい、あったことがあります。
どうでしたか？
面白いです。
そうか。
でした。
面白
方。
はい、面白かったです。
いい方。
面白かったですね。
そう。
はい、どうぞ。
I'm asking the question.
はい。
Okay. から I can't remember that one.
お、
からお
け、
カラオケ
カラオケ。
カラオケ Oh, I see. カラオケに行ったことがありましたか？ありますか？
いいえ、ありません。でも、カラオケをするつもりです。
あ、するつもりです。
するつもりです。
はい。
するつもりです。
いえ、食べたことがありません。
はい。そうやね。高いんでしょうね。
Wolffish are actually really weird. When,
Yeah.
when I'm fishing out in the river, I actually catch a bunch of them because there's a ton there, but they're blind. So they're always just like messing with your bobbers, and if you actually catch them, they have like these really ugly big buck teeth, and they make funny faces.
Wow. Weird.
They'll like bite at you, and they have no idea what they're doing. And since they're blind, they're always swimming next to you. It's like, oh god, get his teeth away from me.
Weird. And they are the ones that have poison, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they eat those.
Need some kind of certification, right? to like
Yeah.
cook
Yeah, you
them.
have to have special certification. Apparently, the poison is in a particular organ, like a little sac.
Mm.
And so if you are an expert and you know what you're doing, you can
Not poison people.
cut the sushi in such a way that you don't break that sac open. Because if you nick it with your sushi knife, the poison can leak into all the rest of the tissues of the fish, apparently, and poison all the meat of
Whoa.
fish.
I don't even think there's a lot of meat on those. Why would they eat it? It's like a delicacy, like a
Yeah, it's a
cultural thing.
delicacy. I think it's partly the risk, the fascination with,
Am I gonna die?
the challenge of, showing off that you're brave enough to try it or something. I don't know.
I feel like
I guess it
maybe
was
it
like
took
a
a lot of
mix of
skill to
beer or
make it,
something.
so it was
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah, it is expensive and it does take a lot of
Which I won't
skill.
tell anybody when I
You
say
have,
this.
like Joe said, you have to actually be certified as a specialist in fugu sushi to even be allowed to serve it.
Would you like die automatically once you eat it?
Well,
How would you
it
die?
depends on how much of the poison you get. Apparently, a tiny minuscule bit of poison just makes you go numb in the mouth.
Whoa.
But then if you get too much of it, it paralyzes your chest and you can't breathe.
Yeah, I'll stick to regular sushi.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Not over food.
Yeah, I don't need to try fugu either, thank you very much. Fugu with peritonitis. Right. Right, じゃあどうぞ、さん。
Oh, I'm not reading.
はい。
中
7番。
国語を勉強したことがありますか？
あ、いえ、ありません。
そうか。
中国語を勉強したことがありません。
はい、いいですね。
難しいからです。Well, can you say 難しからですか？
難しい
Because
で
it's
すから。難しいです
Oh,
から。
難しい。Yeah, 難しいですから? Or does, how to make that like a question? Would that be a question?
Yeah, if that's like a semi-casual question, はい、難しいですから. It's like, you're leaving off the, 勉強しなかった part, 難しいですから勉強しませんでしたか?
Oh, okay.
But you can just say 難しいですから, and that comes across as, is it because
It's hard.
it's hard?
漢字ですから。
Yeah.
はい、たくさん漢字がありますから。はい、漢字がそんなに好きじゃないですから。はい、じゃあ8番はどうぞ。
Alright, 新幹線に
新幹線。
新幹線
はい。
新幹線に乗ったことがありますか？
いいえ。
I think it was similar
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the
Oh, is
answer,
it?
but.
Think it backwards again.
いえ、ありません。
いいですね。
どうしてですか？
Good question.
Oh. Didn't we just learn how to say I haven't had the opportunity for that? Or is that this chapter?
Well, you could say
東京に行きませんですから。
行きませんでしたから。
でしたから。
はい、東京に行ったことがありませんから。
ありません。
日本に行ったことがありませんから。You could say because I've never been to Japan. So you could use the 行ったことがある、行ったことがない form again in the question and the, in the answer to どうして。
Can you use demo at the beginning of a sentence?
You can if it fits what you're trying to say. What are you trying to do?
Like if you answer that, you could say like, but I would like to go in the future.
Sure, yeah. So like, 東京に or 日本に行ったことがないですから、or ないです。でも、将来に行きたいです。
Okay, I
Yeah.
used one of those in my answers.
Yeah, demo works there if you wanted to, Demo usually starts a new sentence.
Okay, because in English you're not supposed to start a sentence but, and I'm like, does that carry over to Japanese?
No,
Probably
it
not.
doesn't. Yeah, there are certain forms like ga usually is a connector between two clauses, like 日本に行ったことがないですが、将来に行きたいです。I've never been to Japan, but in the future I'd like to go. That counts as all one sentence. But if you wanted to chop it into two sentences, you could replace the ga with demo.
Okay.
So,
Demo is closer to however, which you can start a new sentence with.
Yes.
どうぞ。
アンナさん、嘘を
ついた。
ついたことがありますか？
to make a lie?
To tell a lie.
つく?
Yeah. 嘘をつく is
嘘つ
the
け
idiom in
Oh, no,
in
つく.
Japanese for telling a lie.
So what is tsuku by itself? Is that
I'm trying to think how to explain it.
I was thinking it's tsukuru.
It's not scooter, it's its
Yeah.
own verb, it's a separate verb.
So,
I don't know if.
嘘つけ。I've heard that.
Oh, tsukuru is
So
the
it's-
next one.
嘘つき。
はい。
So it's, oh.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh.
that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've heard that before, right?
I've read that a bunch.
Yeah, but tsuku as a verb, I know it means something on its own.
Does
But-
that mean that it's uso otsuki? Or is, okay, so they say it really fast. You
Yeah,
can't really tell.
yeah,
Uso
it makes it sound
Like
like
it has a-
uso is a
otsuki.
long,
Uso otsuki.
long vowel.
Mm.
Usotsuki.
Oh.
Usotsuki.
Hi, Isotsuki.
Uso tsuita
Suita. Okay.
koto ga aru. Right. Yeah, I'll have to scoot. Tsukimasu, it's one of the translations for scoot, tsukimasu, is like to arrive at something, but I don't think it's necessarily the same verb. I think it might be one of those homophones with different kanji situations.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure how you translate that scoot outside the context of tell a lie. I'm not sure if there is a translation outside of that context. It might be that that particular scoot is only used with uso.
Okay.
So, okay, this is gonna be our last one because it's almost time.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. 日本料理を作った
はい。
ことがありますか？
はい、作ったことがあります。美味しかったです。
どうでしたか？
美味しかったです。
そうか。
いいですね。Okay, so questions about those? Okay, so next week we can work on some more grammar points. this is a relatively short chapter,
Yes, yes it is.
so I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Think about it, as you're studying this week for next Thursday. Do you want to just do the one more class on Thursday and then have the test, or do you wanna keep to the original schedule?
For this one, for me, it doesn't seem too bad. Like, everything added on is kind of just, like, it makes sense on where to put it.
Yeah, so.
There's not anything too new.
There's not that much that's new. I mean, there's only 4 grammar points, as opposed to so many chapters that have 6 or 8.
Only a few pages.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only
the amount of Minshu is less than usual. But don't forget, there's also the kanji section. We can spend more time on that if you find that to be challenging. There's
This is a good amount.
There's a decent amount of reading here. There's 4 little short paragraphs to read, some Q&A about those paragraphs, and then 1 longer paragraph to read. So on Thursday of next week, we'll see how far we get with the Kaiwa section and see if we get to the kanji section or not. And then we'll see if you guys want to keep to the original schedule or if you want to speed things up. You know, one advantage of speeding it up would be that would give us a little bit more leeway in case one of the next chapters ends up being more challenging.
Right.
I
That's
remember
what I was
chapter,
worried about, yeah.
chapter
This is
12
pretty simple.
is sort of a typical chapter. I remember chapter 13 feeling a little bit denser.
13 looked pretty hard. I looked at it on
Yeah. So,
in the book.
okay, and I'm glad we recorded because Damon didn't come, so at least I